What's up, guys? It's your boy Mizzy. I'm here today to talk about, does Alabama have the best secondary in college football? Last year we seen this secondary was dominant. Bray Hubbard back, Xavier Brown, Dijon Lee, Keon Sabb, a lot of young talent as well. Like I say, this secondary they should be really dominant. I would be surprised if this secondary was not in the top five. They have to be. Like I say, it's just too much talent. So first of all, I want to get into some of the passing defense stats from last year. So this some of the stuff that makes this defense, really just elite and really dangerous. So last year, passing yards allowed per game was 169 yards per game. National rank, that was fifth. In the SEC, that was first. Opponent's completion percentage versus that passing defense, 62.1. That was 10th nationally, second in the SEC. Yards per attempt, since 6.4. That was 8th nationally and second in the SEC. So you see you see the secondary, how they're like I said, they're dominant. Now passing touchdowns allowed, they were sixth national rank, first in the SEC. So that's how you know how great a secondary is. When passing yards allowed per game, you're first, and the touchdowns allowed, you're first. What's the biggest thing that you want to do as a defense? Keep the opposing team out the end zone. It's simple. So then last year, interceptions, they was tied 18th. That's 11 interceptions. Like I said, and it's a lot of games. It's a lot of interceptions they should have got. Bray Hubbard, he, got a lot of them. And they also created a lot of fumbles as well. I don't have the fumbles numbers right here, but you remember even in the UGA game with they, like I say, they got the fumble stuff. We seen how they flipped the game and changed it. But then, like I say, opponents' passer rating was 124. That was nationally ranked ninth. So then, like I say, in the SEC second. So you see in the SEC, and then the interceptions, they was third for the SEC. But you see in the SEC, this passing defense was, like I say, 1, 2, 2, 1, tied third and second. So like I say, they was in statistically, they was in top three and everything. So that just lets you know how dominant this defense is. And like I said, Xavier Brown, I feel like Xavier Brown is one of the most complete cornerbacks probably in college football. And his IQ when the ball is in the air, I think you just gonna see that even take a step up. We seen last year how quick he can flip a field. When they played Tennessee, you seen how he caught the ball, pick six. Like I say, he just and a lot of teams don't even test Xavier, because like I said, he's just that good. But like I say, Xavier Brown, one of the most complete cornerbacks, and Bray Hubbard. I think Bray Hubbard, he's just a turnover machine. He's a guy just got a nose for football, and he could, like I say, I'm not saying he's this guy, but one of my favorite players is Ed Reed. And when I watch Bray Hubbard, you can tell he just got natural instincts playing the game. The way he, like I say, the Georgia game, when he forced a fumble, when he plays off a guy, comes back for an interception, you can just tell he has natural instincts. And then you got Dijon Lee, the 6'4" cornerback, like just a matchup nightmare. Like I say, he should be a lot better. The one guy that I really want to see step up is Keon Sabb. Keon last year was good, but Keon, he hasn't got to the point that where he should be. As far as Xavier Brown, Bray Hubbard, and Dijon Lee, they're like a class above. But I think Keon Sabb really needs to step up and, like I say, figure something out. And then also, like I say, you got the young guys, you got Carmelo O'Neal from the portal. You got Drake Kirkpatrick. Like I say, this defense is really versatile. And I'm thinking the secondary should also be better, because I'm thinking the defensive line will be better. One thing about last year, a lot of times the secondary had to be great because the defensive line wasn't getting to the opposing team's quarterback. We seen how many times last year Kane Womack had to do exotic blitzes. He got to have a guy coming from the corner. You got to have Bray Hubbard doing something. So because they couldn't create no pressure with none of the D linemen. So this year, I'm thinking that that D line should have take a step in the right direction and get better. So now, no guys in the backfield, they don't have to hold up as long. And now, like I say, you got even more opportunity to get turnovers because, like I say, if you get more pressure on the quarterback, because like I say, I think with Hill and like I say, some of the other guys coming off, Yonze Pierre coming off the line, I think they will create more pressure. Like I say, with another year under the belt, and like I say, man, so I think this defense, like I say, the secondary, I don't know if they'll be statistically the best, but I do think they will be top three. I say because like I say, but they do have potential to be the best in college football. Because like I say, this team is they're elite. And I say, and especially like I say, as far as Xavier Brown and Bray Hubbard, man, I don't know if people realize like these guys are. I'm like I say, I don't know Xavier Brown and Dijon Lee. They're probably one of the best cornerback duos in college football. Period. And like I say, I just think they're gonna have a dominant year, especially with Alabama. I think probably being able to score more points and not put the defense in bad positions. Cause last year Alabama couldn't run the ball. So when your offense can't run the ball, and it's good when they can score fast, but if they doing 3-and-outs and then your defense is getting back on the field so fast, you're tiring the defense out. So like I say, I think the offense will be better this year. Therefore, it will help the defense even more as far as the secondary. But anyways, guys, like I say, man, let me know in the comments. Let me know what y'all think. Do you think the secondary will be the best, top three? Whether you have Alabama's secondary ranked going into the season? And appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Catch you next time.